Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. I am so sorry for keeping this for so long, but transfers are such a pain in the ass to me. I like getting everything done early, and then as time goes on, I see other players I want to buy, and it always screws me up. And this transfer season has been a doozy. So let me get straight into that. First up comes the outs. Now, we have several ins and fairly much several outs. Yassine Adli, I didn't want to get rid of, but he was under a promise that he was transfer listed and wanted to leave. I was kind of hoping that the loan last season was going to do it, but nope, he still wanted to leave. He left. 9.5 million, I believe, to Wolfsburg. He still looks pretty nice. Could have been useful, but oh well. Junior Macias has left. Unfortunately, I wasn't really 100% wanting to sell him. However, I had sort of ideas of someone to fill out that entire cross line since Spezia wasn't doing it for me. And then Macias just didn't have a great season last year. So I kind of thought, get some money for him. It was only about 3.5 million, so not very much at all, but 33 years old. He did very well at Milan. 64 appearances, 11 goals, not too bad. But it was kind of time in my mind, it was time for him to move on. Malik Thiaw has left. This was one, and the next one they're both kind of ones I wasn't really sure I wanted to do. But at the same time, I had I had Coppola coming back. I had some other people in mind, and I thought, you know what? He's still not going to get any game time. And at 23, unfortunately, his stats are only in the 12s. Tackling a 14 is fantastic, but most of everything in the 12s probably wasn't going to do anything but maybe a fourth choice backup. So I figured let's get some money out of him. Again, 9.5 million is a good amount in the bank for this guy, or at least that's what I thought. Lorenzo Colombo actually had some very fantastic games throughout preseason, but in the end, again, another player, 22 years old, that I probably wasn't going to use all that much, and I just didn't. He couldn't sit in the under 20s, if I'm going out sending out these players out on loan, might as well just get rid of them. I don't know if we're going to do a season 4, but so he went out. It was for 6 million, I believe. He's rated, a lot more. But what was funny with this guy is Bournemouth came in with a really low offer. I said no, and he said, I really want to talk to Bournemouth. It's like, okay, fine. Empoli comes in. I say no. That was a loan deal. I wasn't even going to deal with that. And then Bournemouth come in again, and his thing switched from I really want to talk to Bournemouth to I really want to talk to Empoli. It's like, dude, can you make up your mind? So finally, I kept ignoring Empoli's stuff because it was all loan deals. This was the only one that was an actual, transfer. So 6 million, not too bad. I will kind of miss him, but oh well. Now this one was the big one. Benacer was on the transfer list because of some promise I made for him last season that apparently I did not deal with. So I really did not want to get rid of him, but he had no desire to stay. And what was funny is even after I sold him 51 million to Manchester United, thank you very much. Even after I sold him, a lot of players were coming to me and was like, I'm kind of down that you sold him. Why'd you sell him? But it's like, I don't really have a choice. He was transfer listed. He wanted to be out. He was putting up a fight. So you know what? 51 million, I'll take it. And finally, everyone after they come in and say, why'd you sell him? I said, well, he wanted to leave. I can't really keep people here that don't want to be here. They're like, okay, makes sense. Okay, I'm good. But with all that said, those are pretty much the main outs. There's some others, some fringe players, some under 21, under 20s and whatever that are left the building. But we've got a bunch of ins. So let's take a look. Our first signing of this season was William Saliba from Arsenal. It was expensive. It was like 54 million, probably way overpriced, but look at him, 71 to 90 right now at 110 per week. Okay, yeah. A lot of these players are going to be a lot of money. So, but 17 heading is great. Marking is pretty good at 14. Passing at 13. Tackling at 15 is wonderful. So positioning at 14 is nice. So I'm really hoping my goal. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Singo has left. He's out on loan though. He hasn't been transferred. He and Asprilla were ones that I wasn't sure what to do with this season. I didn't want to use them as starters because they're just not ready. So I believe Monaco it was that came in for Singo with a fantastic loan deal. He's coming back next season, but the loan deal was just too much to pass up. I said, go ahead. I had Saliba coming, not coming in at the time, but thinking about someone who could at least play center back and right back. And that would take over what, the need for Singo was. So I still have Florenzi. I'm not sure what to do with him throughout the rest of the transfer window. But Saliba and Kalulu can kind of piggyback on there with Florenzi. So we have the cover. Terracciano still here. He's not been doing too bad. He's still kind of young, though. So he may get a game here and there. So that right back position, I kind of figured was pretty much filled. So Saliba coming in, I'm very excited about. Let's see who else. Cesar Cassidy. No idea how to pronounce that name, but an Italian midfielder from Chelsea, 21-year-old youngster. He has some pretty good stats. 15s and 14s are not too bad. Positioning, where is it? Positioning of 12, okay. And he's not going to be tackling too many people very effectively. But Benacer had left. I needed someone to come in. I have another person coming in, but I kind of figured Cesar Cassidy looked pretty nice. And it wasn't too expensive. No, it was. It was really expensive. It was 42 million. Yeah, so definitely overpaid for this one, but I'm excited to see what he can do. Astor Ranks hasn't really picked it. He's in waves. He'll pick it up and then drop it again, and I don't know. So he's still here. Like I said, we have another midfielder coming in, and we'll see how this guy does. Rooney Bargi, no clue. As I was telling you, I kind of wanted someone who could fill this across the attacking, front mid. So Macias came out, Bargi came in, dribbling of 16, first touch of 15, long shots of 14, passing of 14, crossing of 11 is the big problem. Not the greatest of crossers. He has had a fantastic preseason though, 3+3, 2 goals, 1 assist, 7.45 average rating. Granted, a lot of the teams we played were just really bad Chinese teams. But we had a couple of good ones in there. But anyway, this kid looks really good at 18 years old. Potential through the roof. I don't know why, even if I'm not doing a 4th season, or if I'm not going to do a 4th season, why I'm picking up so much potential. It doesn't matter anymore. But, oh well. Ian Munoz is one that he looks great for a really short backup. He's definitely not going to get a massive amount of game time, but as you can see, he is an emergency backup. Crossing of 12 is better than Bargi is, but dribbling of 13, marking of 14 is not bad, tackling of 15 is good. So work rate of 16 is fantastic. He's got some good numbers and some very average numbers, but for an emergency backup that cost me 2 million, I am not unhappy with this guy at all. And as you can see, only 1 start plus 4 appearances, 7-16 during the preseason. He did okay. Now, this is a dude I have had my eye on since the first season. Sergio Gomez from Manchester City. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He looks fantastic to me. Crossing of 17 is just amazing. I love it. First touch of 16, some 14s in there, which is very good. Dribbling of 12, okay. But for some reason, Man City had him, it was between like 6 and 8 or 9 million for sale. And I was like, you know what? I'll do it. So 7.25, I believe, is what I paid. And I'm loving it. I'm loving this kid. I'm just excited to see what he can do. He's not going to be an everyday starter for the most part, but with the squad rotation that I'm kind of planning or hoping for at least, he's going to get a fair amount of games, especially with Champions League coming up and all the cups and everything. So he's going to get a lot of game time. But what's big for me is that as I'm doing my Football Manager blog channel stuff, I'm seeing a bunch of these players because I'm going through seasons, season after season of some of these teams, and I see him come up and he looks awful. The Sims just do not do him justice whatsoever. So I'm really hoping that an actual coach coming in and, helping him out is going to do just a world of good for him, because I'm really excited to see how he is. The only other player that I've been tracking since the beginning of the first season is Eric Garcia at Barcelona, and at this point it was just too expensive. I had Saliba coming in, so we'll see how January comes, and if there is a season 4, maybe we'll bring Eric Garcia in. But anyway, I am really excited to see what Sergio Gomez can do. And finally, yes, Fabio Moretti has come in. I was looking at another midfielder because Cassidy, yes, he's young. He didn't have amazing numbers, and yeah, it was a little too expensive. And then Vranks as the 3rd or 4th choice. I don't really know. He hasn't been growing as much as I'd like. So I was kind of looking for another midfielder, and it was between this guy and I had seen Sabitzer's name, Marcel Sabitzer, come up every now and again, and I was like, you know what? Let's take a look. Sabitzer can play across a lot of this. I mean, the front three, he can sort of play striker, up and down some of the wings. So his versatility was fantastic, but he was a little bit more expensive, and he's at 30 years old. So overall, I think he would have cost, actually probably not as more expensive, maybe like 35 to 40. Moretti cost 37. So, but in the long run, this is a guy that can be our mainstay midfielder for a long time to come. I know his potential is through the roof. So I'm really hoping that he can do just some wonderful things for this club. But yeah, so that is everyone coming and going so far. We still have, as you can see, some time left. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of money. Well, 32 million. We do have payroll, pretty much on payroll right now. So, but today, Spezia is the first in the league that we're going to be playing today. And let me just quickly go to the schedule. Yeah, so the schedule got messed up. I played the Shakhtar match 5-1. Yes, loved it. Got to this Nagata Unicorn in Singapore. I was probably 3/4 of the way through the match, and then all of a sudden I clicked a button and an injury happened at the exact same time. And for some reason, the screen, I mean, it was basically the pitch and a continue button in the top, and couldn't do it. You click that and it's like, but you still have an injury. You can't, but how do I deal with the injury? Because you're not letting me get to that screen. So I had to actually shut the freaking thing down. And I was up like 12-0. So I came back, played that match, and then came into the Crescent Villa match, and the game froze. Basically what I do is I watch YouTube while I'm playing these matches. I've got Discord up. I got a couple things up. And somehow in the middle of this match, I was up 12-0, 13-0. And then the game just froze. My computer froze. So I had to do a hard boot of my computer, and I said, you know what? Screw this. I went through Nagata Unicorn, Crescent Villa, and Singly United, and I simmed all three of those. Came home, and then for some reason, I had a friendly proposal against Palmeiras, but they never accepted it. And it came up to like 2 days before, and they never accepted it. So Benfica came up on just the spur of the moment. Like, okay, we'll do it. 2-1. Ajax, another spur of the moment, 1-0. So everything was kind of really nicely said throughout all this. 23 and 15-0 though. But I wish I could have played them. But anyway, Spezia it is today. Away from home. Rare away from home for me, but let's get into it. Before I get into this match lineup, I did want to bring to your attention that Giroud did finally retire. What was funny is he ended the season saying he was retiring, and then he went off to the Euros, lost out to England in the Euros, 1-0 on penalties, I think, and then immediately retired right after that. So I'm not going to go over his biography, but man, is that filled out. So he was a fantastic servant. I really am going to miss him. Holgeland is going to be up top for the foreseeable future, though. I do have a plan. If Holgeland either goes down or needs a partner or something or just needs a rest. Leao came in for a match or two that I was under the control of during the preseason, and he looked fantastic as a striker. De Galore, not so much, but Leao looked amazing. This is the lineup that we've got coming out today. It looks fairly standard, only a couple of new guys. Manyan in goal, Hernandez, Saliba does come in, Scalvini and Kalulu. Basically, Tomori's suspended right now, so I'm not sure who's going to start. Probably Tomori in general. Saliba was not the greatest during friendly season, so we'll see how many games he actually gets this season. Hopefully a lot. But Moretti and Tonali in the midfield pairing. Leao, De Galore, Diaz in the top three, and then Holgeland up leading the line. Diaz, Berardi. Diaz has been really doing well, so I figured I'd give him a chance. Yeah, Leao and Hernandez, unfortunately, are going to keep Gomez out for a little while. So Spezia actually do have a couple players, Giassi and Bastoni, in there. So I'm not expecting this to be the easiest of matches. But first in the season, we've had a very good preseason. Scalvini, I need to figure out how to pick up. Is the only problem right now. Because, again, he had some fantastic matches. But, again, when you're winning 15 and 23-0, you're going to have some good matches. But, you know, we'll have to see. He has to pick it up from last season when he got under sevens, I'm going to assume. So we'll have to see. But there he is on the ball, coming up through a couple players. But Kalulu, back and forth, back and forth. Come on, gents. 19 minutes in. Nothing's happening. There we go. Scalvini, yeah, with a yellow card. When did he pick up a yellow? It's in the 9th minute. Wow. Back to yellow heavy. We didn't have a lot of yellows during the preseason. Hodgland! That's what he's able to do. And that's why I love him. Is he offside, though? He might have fractionally been offside. Goal review is checking on it, and it is awarded. First goal of the season. First goal of Hodgland starting the line. Kalulu Tonali, fantastic. Right there is pinpoint perfect. And Hodgland just with the outside of his left foot, nicking the inside corner of that bar. Post? Whatever. So Theo into the box for Galore. Oh, he's had some good shots too, but unable to do it today for some reason. Scalvini on a 6-5. See? Why? Why can everyone else on Earth get Scalvini to be, a top player? And even though the media says that he's a top player in my save, he can't get above like a 6'5", 6'7", or anything like that. Moretti at a 6'6". So, interesting match, guys. I would really like it if you could pick it up, though. I have a feeling with the amount of yellows that we've got today, this is going to be another yellow-heavy season, which is nice that we now have the backups that we can use, because they're going to be suspended a lot, I'm going to imagine. So the likes of Gomez hopefully will come in and do some real nice stuff. It's 70 minutes in. Are you guys going to do anything? Seriously? Kalulu up to Galore. Well, that is one reason why he's coming off. Gomez is coming off for Leao. Rooney's coming on for Galore. And Florenzi for Kalulu. It's the always popular triple substitution, which always works. But Gomez, first touch of the ball, up to Theo. Can we get anything with it? Nope, back to Moretti. Back up to Theo. And gets just stolen. Oh, no, not Verde. That was not good. Nice defending. But should not have happened in the first place. This is absolute bullcrap from the refs. Diaz, though, with a corner. Smacks it into the box. Hodgland needs to figure out where the net is the problem. So Saliba at the back three at least have picked it up a bit. Let's see if Florenzi can do much better. But Theo with a throw in. Rooney, nice pass into Tonali. Apparently we need to figure out, get some shooting drills going. Because this is getting insane how close we are, but missing by miles. Oh! Sorry. That was a shot and a half. That was a really good shot and a great save by Magnan, even though it was straight at him. There we go, Magnan able to pick it up and catch it. But, we're not dominating. That is for certain. Probably maybe should have used cautious, but I had no idea what Spezia would be like. Not all that great, but still, picking it up against us, that's for certain. Hodgland, what kind of pass was that? But Florenzi, crossing it in, nope. Come on, guys. Brahim. Thank you. Thank you for saving the day, former Real Madrid youngster. But wow, that was a screw up. Florenzi passing it in was a cock up. Rooney able to pick it up, and then I don't know what happened, but Brahim just taking it and saying, you know what, screw this. I'm going to do it myself. So 2-0 seems to be the way that this match is going to end. Thank you very much. 2-0 win. It was a nervy win to say the least, but in the end, Florenzi, Rooney, and Gomez are the only ones in that lineup right now. That don't have the green. Galore with a 6'7", Leao with a 6'4". It looks like we played fantastic, but from what I saw, it could have been a lot better. A hell of a lot better. So right now, Saliba impresses on Milan debut. Supporters have been anxious to see what Saliba had to offer, and undoubtedly been delighted that their new man looked good in his first outing. So my guess is I'm going to be doing, it's either going to be Tomori and Scalvini or Tomori and Saliba, and just kind of rotating and resting and things like that. But right now, hey, 3 points is 3 points. I'll take it no matter how we can get it. So, but that does it for me, Sefian FM, and the start of the season 3. It has been a doozy so far. Let's see how the rest of the season goes. That's it for me, Sefian FM. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and enjoy.